Welcome to the Women's Bookshop in Ponsonby. I am delighted to be launching here Barbara Ewing's wonderful book, 1 Minute Crying Time. It's an unusual launch in that there are fewer than 10 people gathered here. We're in level 2 for the first time, alert level 2 during this pandemic. And here we are launching this wonderful book that is, I found personally very moving and reflected a lot of my own childhood growing up in New Zealand in the 50s and 60s, but it is also a wonderful sociologically important document, I would say. Wonderful history of growing up in New Zealand. And Barbara, of course, is well known as an actor as well as a writer. And I have great pleasure now in welcoming the publisher of this wonderful book, Nicola Leggett from Massey University Press, and she's coming now to tell us about the publishing of this book.
Thank you, Carol. Kia ora koutou, ngā mihi nui. Thank you so much for joining us tonight by this slightly unusual means. I can't tell you how excited we are to be actually in a bookshop doing something real rather than Zoom. We actually thought this day would never come. It's been a long, long wait to launch 1 Minute Crying Time. Originally it was due to be launched in May, and Barbara was to speak at the Auckland Writers' Festival, and so it's been a very long and tough wait for Barbara during lockdown, but finally now that we're at level 2, the first day of level 2, it is so wonderful to be in a shop and celebrating this absolutely fantastic book. We feel enormously privileged to be Barbara's publisher, especially as a small independent New Zealand press, when Barbara has published all her novels with big publishing houses in the UK, and so for us this was an enormous honour and a privilege. It's been fantastic working with her. Barbara is an endlessly stimulating and fun, sometimes challenging person, but challenging in the best way, because this is her life and we had a duty to help her tell it in the way that she wanted it to be told. It's superb. We adore it. I've read it just so many times during the publishing process, and I continue to laugh and cry and be so moved by it. It is quite a marvellous thing. Barbara, thank you so much. I also just wanted to thank a few people before we hear from Barbara. Most importantly, Carol, for backing this book, for allowing us into her shop tonight, for being such a great supporter not only of Barbara but the press. I hope also that you will support the Women's Bookshop when you come to purchase this book. I'd like to thank my staff who are here tonight, Anna Bobias and Olive Owens, who have worked very closely on the book and supported Barbara in recent days around this launch. And especially I wanted to thank Jennifer Ward-Lealand, Te Atamira, who's going to launch the book for us tonight. That's a great privilege as well. So now, Barbara, please do come and share some thoughts about writing this book with us. Thank you. Kia ora.
Thank you. Kia ora tātou. Well, this is a very strange and interesting book launch, isn't it? And I know that I'm talking very much to my family and friends, and some of them I haven't even seen. I've been here, but I haven't been able to see you, and now you can see me, but I have missed you. Ki taku whānau Māori, pērano he moke taku ngākau. But here we are, in Carol Bowes Women's Bookshop, where you've all been. Now all my friends have been here, and my family, families in this bookshop, all squashed up, all of us hugging each other and drinking Carol's hospitable wine and all the good things that come. And I just feel it's so mad that we're not all here together, but at least you have been here. Thank you, Carol, for the very big support you've always given my books. Not just this one, but every time I've come to Auckland with and a book has come out, Carol has had a celebration of it, and I'm very appreciative.
It's lovely to have you back here again.
Thank you. Now, you might think I've been locked in this room, I don't know, reading. No, I haven't been reading. I've been doing something. I've been trying to make a historical or possibly hysterical archive of this pandemic time. We decided that there should be an audio book of 1 Minute Crying Time, and as I was here I should read it. And of course, I can't go into a studio, I can't have any sound engineers, I can't have any editors, but I've recorded all my books. And I said, oh no, that's fine, absolutely fine, because I know how to do this. And so with Massey University Press and Audiobooks New Zealand, I have been recording this book in my little apartment, which many of you have been to. Well, you know the fridge and the table. Well, I've been sitting between the fridge and the table just by the muesli, and I close all the windows and the curtains, and nobody else has been there. I haven't met an editor or a technical engineer, but I've been given a machine and a microphone, and I've tried to record it, and I'm not very good at this. I thought I could record things, but I have to listen for the traffic, and I have had to do all sorts of things like the fridge's got to be off, the phone's got to be off, and also, have I made a mistake? Is there something I've done here that's wrong? I better repeat it. And really, it hasn't been perhaps what I'd hoped it would be. And so one day the producer rang me and he said to me, have you ever thought of perhaps going into your wardrobe with a duvet and recording this? And I said, no, because the wardrobe where I'm staying is just about 2 feet wide with shelves on it, so I'd have to sit on the vacuum cleaner. and so I've tried to learn what I should be doing and what I should be listening out for and how I should keep away from the microphone. I'm doing the best I can, and we will see. I send the files to Audiobooks New Zealand, and they say, okay, that's fine, carry on. So I carry on in a state of some disarray, but they seem to think that it'll be all right in the end, and I hope it will. So thank you, Audiobooks New Zealand. This book is about memory and truth and love, and it's made by mistake, and the mistake was mine. I was packing up all my journals and diaries and everything to pack them up, burn them in a bonfire which I'd arranged with friends in London, and we were going to get rid of all the kind of stuff you don't want to leave around. And I made the mistake of, in the sort of moments of tying the string, of taking out an old Collins diary from 1951 and reading a few pages. As soon as I started reading it, I knew that I had a historical document in my hand, and I'm very sorry to have to admit, as I won't be able to lie about my age anymore, that the document was nearly 70 years old that I was holding. And I knew that it wasn't just about me and my family. It was about the 1950s and our country. So I found it so difficult and so painful. I mean, teenage diaries, gosh, they're just unbearable. But anyway, I kept on going, but then I said, no, I can't. But I had some wise advisors who said, you must. You need to keep doing this. And so I did, and finally I came up with a great deal of support of people who are wiser than me, and I gave the manuscript to Nicola Leggett at Massey University Press, and she decided, either courageously or foolhardy, I'm not sure, to publish it. She did keep me on the straight and narrow, I can tell you, before it actually came out, and I am so grateful to her and to my friends who I've just met tonight from Massey University Press, Oliver and Anna. I couldn't have done it without you all. And I have to say that they have made this book into something that I wanted it to be, which is, you can understand that which bit is the diaries and which bit is the narration and where they come together, but you never will be unsure as to whether you're reading the diary or the narration, and I think that's terribly, terribly important. So thank you to all of you. And I've got one more thank you, and that is to someone I just met about half an hour ago for the first time, and that's Jennifer Ward-Lealand, Atamira. I have never met her before, and yet since she's read the book, she has supported me. She has read about it to people. She's written about it to people. She's spoken about it to people. Ko koe he toko māku, he te Atamira, he nui taku mihi ki a koe. This diary entry in 1951, the 1st of January, and the last one is when I was just leaving New Zealand on the ship to go to London to train to be an actress with the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, my great dream that I'd had since the 1951 diaries. In the 11 years between those two entries, things have happened to me that affected me so much that they have had a definite influence on the rest of my life. Monday, 1st of January 1951. Stayed up on New Year's Eve to sing Auld Lang Syne at midnight. We drank ginger ale with Mum and Dad and Andrew. Ross was asleep. Tonight we left Wellington for Timaru. A calm night. We are sailing across Cook Strait on the Rangatira. Wednesday, the 26th of September 1962. The ship's departure was delayed, but I was still one of the last people on board. The gangway had been taken down. I was late because we had one last party and I sang, and then I went down to the wharf. I went up the cruise gangway. Thank you, and thank you for being here. E te Atamira, ko koe nai ne.
Tēnā koe. Kia ora rā, tēnā koe te rangatira, i te karamata, tēnā koe. E te hunga e mātakitaki mai ana i te pōnei, tēnā kouta katoa, kei ngā wahine o tēnei toa poka poka, kei te rangatira, tēnā kouta katoa. Look, I feel so lucky to have been asked to launch this book. Barbara and I have so much in common. We're from completely different generations, but obviously Barbara's an actor and I'm an actor, and we've both been profoundly affected by te ao Māori. And as I was reading this book, I never make dog ears in my book, but it's full of them because I kept going, yes, 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 all the way through. So I was just so struck by Barbara's fortitude to actually get through that childhood of hers, and it's no wonder that she made a success of her career as an actor, because any difficulties you strike in the performing arts world, frankly, I think pale into insignificance next to what you actually had to struggle through as a young woman to pursue your dreams, to pursue the person that you loved, and to live in the family that you lived in. And I just found it very, very moving. I'm very happy to support the book. I think it's a wonderful read, and I want you all to go and buy it too. I think it has also been incredible to me to see a New Zealand that I perhaps, I was born 6 weeks after Barbara left for England, so I didn't have that 50s New Zealand that she grew up in, and I think I'm very glad about that. I think there were a lot of struggles that perhaps we wouldn't have to go through now that Barbara had to. But nevertheless, she pursued the things that she wanted to, and that takes he manawa titi koe, the heart of a titi, to go for what you want, no matter what. So I'm very, very proud this evening to be launching this book. And I would like you all to come as close as you can, and to charge your glasses, and look, he puti puti, he puti 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 puti. And I would like you all to celebrate alongside me the official launch of 1 Minute Crying Time, published by Massey University Press by the wonderful Barbara Ewing. Cheers, Mauri ora! So come along, have a drink, Come along, buy it at any good bookshop. Of course, it's here at the wonderful Women's Bookshop here in Ponsonby Road. We're lucky to have our local bookshops up and open, so go and support New Zealand businesses, New Zealand bookshops. Tell your friends all about it, put it on Facebook, go forth, read this wonderful piece of New Zealand history by a wonderful actor and a wonderful writer. Kia ora.
Kia ora.